Actually, yeah, oh goody. If, Eric, this has been a big weekend and you were a big part of it, what did it mean to you to be a part of this? I mean, is this as far?
Yeah.
But what drew you here? I mean, what
drew me here was, okay, I gotta wake up for a second. Hold on.
Right.
All right.
We can start with some of the basics.
No,
I can just ask you.
I gotta pull my head out of my ass. Give me a second. But, yeah, what's the meaning of 42? What drew me, What drew me here mainly was everybody else who was gonna be here. This is a first chance for me to meet a lot of people in person, chance to get to see a lot of these people perform live, that, hopefully that opportunity will come up again, but in the past I've passed up opportunities and they've disappeared. I missed my chance to meet Melvin Burkhart by about a month and a half, and it was a really stupid thing to do, and I still kick myself for it. Mike Wilson, the former Illustrated Man of Coney Island, missed my opportunity to meet him by just not taking advantage of it. So I'm not going to let that happen to me anymore.
Can you give us a thumbnail description of the Lizardman and why you created him at the
Well, Lizardman is it's a stage name. I think it has very obvious reasons why I would use it, because I have a reptilian transformation of my body as part of what I do. As for what the show goes to, it just, we kind of work a reptilian theme around a lot of stuff. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, but, I do things that might be just simple, like instead of being a human blockhead, I say I'm a lizard blockhead, things like that. Or it might be up to doing things in a way that, everybody has their explanation for what they're doing. Someone might do a biological approach to swallowing a sword. This is possible because of the muscle reduction like that. Oftentimes I'll do, just like lizards and snakes, I can swallow things whole. Watch as I open my jaw and insert this all the way down. I can take those little twists. It's just my play.
Do you enjoy reactions in public? I know we talked about going out in public.
Right.
I mean, what?
The main reason that I enjoy a reaction in public is not so much that I'm like, hey, I've got to make people turn and look their heads. And this is one of my favorite quotes, I've gotten to say it a bunch of times this weekend, is Andre Breton's quote on surreality, which is, you aim at nothing less than the total transformation of the mind. Well, by inserting something into the reality of the everyday reality of people that's unusual, you have an effect on what constitutes the reality. I just happen to have made that thing that I'm inserting me. So I enjoy a reaction because I know that means that person is having some sort of mental dialogue, regardless of what the reaction is. Everything from the most negative to the most positive, it means they've stopped for a minute and thought about, hey, what's going on with this green person over here?
And you are totally, do you feel the transformation's complete, or is there still more?
The transformation has its conceptual descriptions and stuff that I did, sort of came up with when I was still working on my undergraduate degree in philosophy. And so the transformation in terms of a physical completeness isn't there because I am not finished with my tattoos. That element of it, which is the obvious and most apparent part of it, is...
We'll start on with the show up here. Get the people in the other...
I'll start over and just...
Half of that was good.
Yeah. Let's find out from where he started out.
Yeah. Go ahead and finish up.
The obvious part of the transformation is the physical part of it, and there's an obvious endpoint to that, which is when we've completed all the procedures. But the transformation as a conceptual thing it's like saying, do you feel that your life is complete now? No, it's as long as I exist, it's there.
And you were a doctorate in philosophy, or you think?
I was studying for it. I left my doctoral program after 3 years because it was costing a lot of money to be a doctoral student, whereas I could be making money touring and performing. And as well, I sort of came to the conclusion that I was doing it for myself, and I don't need the piece of paper. Really, I had come to a point when I went back to school for my doctorate that I was just trying to get back into a community that I liked. I like being in that sort of a university setting where there are people who are of the mind to discuss, different things and, certain concepts, and have the background to discuss them on various levels. And really, I kind of just said, I don't need to be paying somebody for this to give me a piece of paper to prove that I did it. All I need to do is make sure that I keep my friends and the people around me of this same quality and nature.
Now you performed at Coney Island, or you were?
Coney Island was very gracious enough to have me as a guest this past July. It was the actual first time I had ever been to Coney Island, and they let me come in, let me join the troupe for a weekend, just, slipped me in with an act and let me perform my own one-man show one night.
I heard that everybody drank the bile.
Yeah, after during the day, I did some Pierce weightlifting and some other stuff with them. I went out and did the ballets and everything. I had a great time. I mean, they welcomed me in there as if I was family and made me feel really, really good. That night, I did my show, and of course, during the show, I did my current version of the gavage, the stomach pump act, where I do a little color change inside my body and draw it back out. And it used to be a lot of performers that have done it have offered it to the crowd, and people have drank it. Some very well known, and then some not so. I don't usually even offer it to the crowd. If I do it in jest, because even to me, even as someone who pumps his stomach and then drinks it, I can at least say to myself, well, it's my stomach, it's my thing. I have a hard time. It's one of those things I have a hard time wrapping my head around. People want to drink these former stomach contents of someone. So I came out afterwards with the pump, and I was getting ready to clean it, and I had to walk by all of the cast there, and I just got a joke. He said, anybody wants some? I got it. I'm going to go throw it out. And Fred Fredini just came around. He's like, yeah, we got to do it. He came over with a bunch of cups, and next thing I know, I'm doing stomach juice shots with the whole cast out at the bar.
Yeah, I heard that. So were you always interested in performance art, or what?
Yeah, I was. I kind of came to where I am now by bringing together a lot of influences in my life, which were things like, tattooing and body modification, and the corollary that the tattooed man attractions and performance art. I mean, when I was an undergraduate, I was studying performance art as well as philosophy, and I was influenced by a lot of people like Joseph Beuys, Vito Acconci, Chris Burton, Carolee Schneemann, heavily body-based people. And also, Dadaist and Surrealist in their motivations and the way that they did things. So, the first time that I did something like the Blockhead, I did it in an art gallery. And it was this very, I now think, kind of pompous routine about driving home the truth, where I hammered a nail with the word truth written on the side of it into my face, slowly and deliberately. So I took these things that I had been doing privately to my body just to see, if I could do them and what the results were. And I started working them into my performance art. And as I sort of started realizing, like I say, how pompous I think that a lot of performance art gets in gallery works and institutional art and all of that, I started saying, well, I like doing these things and I really like performing them, but I want to take it in a different direction. I'm like, well, more traditional maybe. Look at Sideshow, look at comedy, look at these things as a way to bring them out.
Is there anything more to define? Like, what's your ultimate goal if you have such a thing?
I don't so much have an ultimate goal. I think that that Breton quote that I mentioned before, the transformation of the mind, I like infusing a little bit of...
Speed. Yeah.
I'm swallowing. What the hell was I saying? It's impossible for me to say the same thing twice.
Yeah, I just asked about
reactions.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I think I remember. Yeah. I just really like infusing a little bit of oddity or surreality into someone's day, and in a way hoping that maybe that gets them out of their daily routine. A lot of people will say, and pardon me, I'm going to swear a little bit now, that's like same shit, different day. And that just horrifies me as a mindset, that people think that their routine is such that they keep going. So if I break up that routine just by walking by and saying, hey, I just saw a green guy, what was that? Maybe get them back to that childlike state that you never know when you run around a corner, maybe you're going to see a giraffe. Who knows what might be there. To make the world a less expectable place or predictable place for you. You go back to that wonder, because then you can have a lot more fun.
Beautiful. Can I just, would you describe some of this
I'm
stuff?
still like licking my.
I'm just going to have him, if you do some close-ups, so you just
How
describe
ugly.
some of the things.
That's not bad.
You guys can come closer if you want.
All right. Just go through the.
Yeah,
okay.
good.
Right now, I have over 600 hours of tattooing that covers my body, and we probably anticipate another 200 to 300 hours to complete filling in the base, the scales with the green. Other than the tattoo work, I obviously have some piercings, my ears, septum, nipples, and an apotropia. They've all been stretched and conditioned to lift weights. I have my subdermal implants. It's Teflon mounted in subdermal tissue over my eyes, give me my horned ridges. I've had my teeth filed with a dentist drill, and of course my split tongue. All kinds of fun.
Did you get a good close-up of it?
Got a great close-up. Let's do ID and that's it.
Yeah,
Right.
thank you for remembering. Okay, is she, I'm Eric or
Right.
Lizardman, whatever you want to say. And, into the camera.
Right.
And you're watching Shocked and Amazed.
Right. I'm Eric Sprague. I perform under the name of the Lizardman, and you're watching Shocked and Amazed TV.
Can you smile at the end of that?
Hey, I caught myself there. I'm like, whoops, forgot to pause. All right,
This is your chance.
Yeah, you would get me after 2 days at a convention, hungover and sleepy, and go, give me the energy. All right. All right. You want just like an ID? I thought you wanted like the standard. Tell us your name, rank, and serial number for the record. You want I was halfway through. You want a promo ID? Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. Let's get that then. I'm the Lizard Man, and you're watching Shocked and Amazed TV.
Good. I'm at the tip.